Hi there, this is Chris from Money Hub, and this video looks at the OneSmart card and the Wise debit card, both of which are used as travel money cards. So what we've done is we've done a comparison of the fees and basically looking at the features, and of course the most important thing is the exchange rate. So I'll just do a quick summary of this guide that we've written. We're not huge fans of the OneSmart card, I'll say that first up. Now, the reason is, as I'll demonstrate in this video, is the exchange rates are much worse than what you'll get from Wise. So really, if you are looking for a travel money card, yes, it's nice to get the benefits of, say, one airpoint dollar per $100 spent. But if you're getting rates that are 3 to 4% lower than what Wise is offering, then really you're recovering a small amount of that difference. The second thing is also, for some reason, there's some really annoying $1 per month fee to have the card. We're not sure why that's charged. It just seems irritating. So that's one negative that we have with OneSmart. The other thing is that you can't integrate it to like Apple Pay and Google Pay, so there is like an issue there if you do lose the card. Speaking from experience, these cards can unfortunately go missing. It's 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 no one's fault, but if you drop it or something like that, then you are in a trouble. So it is good to have those backups. And basically, we're looking for a card which is flexible, offers value for money, and is really easy to use. For us, we think that's Wise, but I'll just go through and explain why that is. So we've just done some summaries here, and then we've looked at what you get with OneSmart. So uh, there's 8 currencies that you can load onto, which is probably fine for the big countries. If you're going throughout Europe, if you're going throughout the US and Australia. But if you are traveling sort of further afield, then that may be quite limiting because then you'll be paying a surcharge fee of around 2.5%, for exchanging from New Zealand dollars to that currency. Say if it was South African rand, say if it was Egyptian pound, something like that, Indian rupee, that wouldn't be covered by OneSmart. Then the Wise debit card, you can load around 54 right now currencies into a wallet, and the rates are much lower. But as I say, I'll demonstrate that shortly. And so, yeah, just as a general, we like the fact that OneSmart, like the Wise card, you can use it everywhere. That cards are accepted, and we also like the fact that there's 3 free ATMs withdrawals you can do per month. Largely, a lot of things now have moved online, especially if you're traveling through the States, Australia. A lot of places are saying, "Oh, we only take cards, no cash," probably post-COVID. But that's just sort of worth knowing that you can make these withdrawals without any penalty to some degree. But we don't like the exchange rates, and then we certainly don't like this $1 a month fee, which isn't actually a massive cost. It just seems annoying. Then we've looked at the Wise card. We've said we like the exchange rates, and we like the fact that you can maximize loading up to lots of currencies. And you don't have to load it up. You can always leave it in New Zealand dollars. So then, when you make a payment, it just gets taken out of New Zealand dollars at the current exchange rate, but you don't pay these massive fees that you do with other cards, and to a degree, the 2.5% margin that the OneSmart card charges. So let's just have a look right now to make things easier. So if we fire up the Air New Zealand OneSmart uh, site, I'll just refresh that, and you can see right down here that you'll see the live exchange rates. And I'm just going to say, right, let's say we want 1,000. Let's just do it by some currencies that are most popular. Let's say we want 1,000 New Zealand dollars. We're translating into Australian dollars. So we can see right here that the exchange rate is 0.8747. And then if we check that, so from that $1,000, we'll get around 875 Australian. And if we then check that on Wise, let's just refresh that. And I'll put that to Australian dollars. So we can see here that the exchange rate, that's 0.906. So that's quite different to 0.87. It's almost 3 cents difference. Actually, it is over 3 cents difference. So here we're going to get $902.40 versus 874. So for every 1,000 New Zealand dollars that you that you top up for Australian dollars, you'll get 30 more Australian dollars. That's around about 3.3% higher. Sorry, it's around 3.3% lower with the OneSmart card. So if we then compare that now to US, so if we go $1,000, what's the US? So it's 0.5907. And then if we check that with the US dollar, so we can see here that the rate is 616. So that's versus 59. So it's about 2.5 cents difference here. So we would get with our $1,000, around $613 US. And with the Wise card would get about 591. So you're looking at around $23 difference there, a US, which is also quite significant, especially on 1,000 New Zealand dollars when the exchange rate isn't that flash right now, and these margins continue whatever the exchange rate is. So yeah, that is quite significant. We just check the British pound, and we can see here, I just keep typing that in, making sure it's a live feed. So £4.99, because the exchange rate is 0.499 with OneSmart. We check that to the British pound. We can see that it's going to be 0.5189. So that is much higher. It's about 2 pence higher. And that means that you'll get £516 versus £419. Sorry, £499. So that's £17 difference for every time you top up $1,000. Now, if you're going away, and things cost a lot of money overseas, just like they do in New Zealand, then this is going to be a noticeable difference. If we just do euro, that's the last one that we'll do just to show this. You can see here that the exchange rate is 5892, and if I change this to euro, that is 607. So sorry, and the exchange rate is pretty much 0.61 versus 0.59. So there's 2 euro cents in it there, which is also quite significant. So here you'll get 589 euros for your 1,000 New Zealand dollars. But with Wise, you'll get 607. So that's a difference of around 17 euros, 17, 18 euros. That certainly adds up as well. So that's just a summary here of what the differences are. We don't like the fact that, the exchange rates are so different, hence our interest in Wise. I mean, ultimately for us, we see, well, what's the cheapest to use? What's the most convenient? That's going to be the Wise card, just with its online app, its live tracking of all your spending, the fact it integrates with Apple and Google, so you don't have that one card, one risk. Plus, also the delivery is quite quick as well. We look at the Wise card. Sorry, we look at the when you look at the Air New Zealand card and you just have a look through its fees, they are quite clear, but you do need to be, you do need to be aware of them. So whilst it's free to get the card for no charge, and that compares to Wise where it's 14 New Zealand dollars for a one upfront fee, and there's no load fees if you use your bank account. You will see that there is a currency conversion fee if you're using a currency that's not part of the basket which they offer, which is the 8 currencies. And we don't know what those exchange rates are. So it could be actually a lower exchange rate than Wise, probably is going to be, plus 2.5%. So, if you're going to use it in, Thai baht, if you go to Thailand, or use it in, Taiwan, Korea, Czech Republic, somewhere like that, then yeah, there's a risk that you possibly could be eating into quite a small but not sort of insignificant chunk of your money that you've got in New Zealand dollars. and there's that monthly fee, which we're not, which we're not huge fans of, and I wish they'd get rid of it, but it seems to be sticking around. One thing worth noticing though is that if you want to load up your card, the OneSmart card takes, like around one business a day. It's going to be like the next day, whereas with the Wise card, it's going to be, well, I mean, because New Zealand banks are a bit slower than international banks. If you make a payment, say on a day, and it's before about 8 p.m., 9 p.m., that should come through within about 2 to 3 hours. So you're not waiting, for that. The problem is if you do fund it over the weekend, New Zealand time, then you will have to wait for Monday, just like you will here with the OneSmart card. But it's certainly worth noticing that it's far more immediate when using the Wise card because you don't have those delays. So that is something to consider as well if you just wanted something instant. You can always do the debit card top up. That's an extra fee, and you'll pay that for Wise as well as OneSmart. But it's worth noticing that option is available. So that's our summary of the OneSmart versus Wise debit card. Do let us know in the comments or send us an email if you have any questions. We look forward to seeing the space kind of become more competitive as this Wise card really takes off. I would love to see the other providers, not just OneSmart, but also Travelex and also the MasterCard Cash Passport, like up their exchange rates and lower their fees. But for now, we're strictly seeing that, Wise is the standalone. I don't think at this point there's a runner-up, and the reason is because the exchange rates are just so poor. So thanks for watching. Do let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.